Are we live? I don't know. Are we? I've been testing a bunch of stuff, so I don't know if we're live. Oh,
Can you tell me if we're live?
I think we're live.
I don't know what's going on. Is the stream starting? I don't know. Is it?
Oh, I think we're there. Hey, we're live.
We're live. Hey, we did it.
Let me turn off the volume on the second monitor. It was a little distracting having the echo.
See, I got smart. You got me thinking the other about a month ago.
Oh, that's dangerous.
I know. Really, it is. The Go XLR has a SPDIF input.
Yep.
For the digital audios.
Yep.
And an Xbox One has a SPDIF output.
Yep.
For the digital audios.
Yeah, that's what I use.
So I got a SPDIF cable, and I have my Xbox One that's in my office here, up over here, plugged in, and that's actually what I use for my monitor, and then I have it on a separate console channel.
Yeah. Actually, because when we game, my Xbox, which is now the Series X, is sitting in on the cabinet there. But I use my 4K monitor to game on, so I'm sitting at my desk, got the monitor, so if we're streaming, my mic is here, my headphones is close, so when we were streaming like that, I didn't have a problem, and I had that, it's all really wired into the walls, my the SPDIF. I'm trying to think of the technical term, but I haven't had much sleep this week, so I've had a brain fart and it just stalled for a second. It's almost like
that was beyond that was a complete stall. It wasn't just a fart. I mean, you had to restart the engine. You had to maybe even a little bit more gas.
I popped the clutch and stalled the brain. So, yeah, let me turn that off for a sec. Okay, so now. But when I got the Series X, they removed the optical port in the back.
Yes, they did. Boo! Boo!
So I got a little box on Amazon that's in a HDMI in. So HDMI that has both the sound and the video, and it actually splits it.
Neat.
Into another HDMI for out, but without sound, and either aux cable, like auxiliary cable, or optical cable for the sound, so you can actually split your signal. So I put that behind my Xbox so that I could still use it in here. But since then, I've upgraded my TV in my office to a 50-inch 4K. So I just turn around and play on the 50-inch. 50-inch when you're sitting 4 feet away from it is large.
It can be. It can be for sure. Well, good morning, everybody. It is testing in production.
Yep.
We've got producer Pierre, as always. I am Steve, the audio guy. We have taken over the Patch and Switch channel yet again.
They're going to kick us out one day.
They are. Well, you know, I swear, I asked them, I'm like, we've been having two-factor authentication issues with Twitch, and can I get on a little rant here? Pierre, is that okay?
Yeah.
Twitch is trying to merge counts, and this is where I can empathize with all the customers of Microsoft that do the, like, I had people who were complaining to me that, you know, Minecraft accounts are going away for MSAs.
Yep.
And I can understand, because Twitch is trying to do this whole merge accounts where you can only have one account with 2FA on it. And in a situation like Patch and Switch, where there's 3 of us, or 4 of us actually, that have the account information so that we can do shows whenever we want. You are our backup producer, and I always thank you. In fact, next week for Patch and Switch, Mr. Pierre, thank you very much, has been kind enough to do the job for me.
I'll have to actually install the 2FA in my authenticator.
Well, that's the problem. It's totally effed up right now. I've contacted their support and said, what the heck did you guys do? Because it's not working. And yes, Freestyle Coder, Twitch is for ranting. So yes, that's what we're doing. But no, they've made it. I think what they're trying to do is have it so when you have like a channel like Patch and Switch, we would connect all of our personal accounts to it. But there are just some things you have to do as the channel account, especially when it comes to the actual streaming.
Yep.
And when you're connecting to things like, I don't know, stream elements.
Yep. Which is what I was trying to do this morning. Oh, yesterday afternoon. This morning I was actually trying to stream.
Trying to actually do the stream. And correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, yes, we're testing and production type stuff. You actually had to grab normally you can log in OBS with the account and it connects everything. You actually had to use the stream key for once.
Yeah, because it wouldn't accept my my 2-factor authentication code. Well, the code that you gave me from your authenticator device. So,
which works yesterday.
Sweet factor authentication.
Nice.
No, it's not so sweet. Not so sweet. Not so sweet at all.
At all lately. So, yeah. It was a thorn in my butt yesterday while I was trying to do my normal job. I was also trying to help out Pierre, getting him set up to be able to not only stream for today, but also for next week. So I really appreciate the help, Pierre, as I said.
Well, we'll definitely have to figure it out before you go next week, because I don't think you'll be in any shape to give me codes over the phone.
I'll be in somewhat good shape, but I just I can't talk about it. I'm for actually going to be able to. The heck was that? Are you trying to do like the old Bewitched and?
I figured I'm bald now, so I can do like the Rockin'.
There you go. That's what we need to do. Let's have a quick shout out to our friends who've joined us this morning. Thank you for joining us in the chat room. We have 2020. 2020's followed us.
Oh. Well, isn't it March 380 something of 2020?
It is March 385th.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Also in the chat room, we got Absoblog and Lootly, Aspen Forrester, BioCow. Hey, BioCow, good to see you. Freestyle Coder, Fuel Snobble, I Am Pure, Casey McFerrin, Vizio MVP, and of course, the inevitable Wireless Life CDN, also known as Anthony, the guy who can't remember how to say anything.
Hey, he got your name right this morning.
He did. He
got my Twitter handle wrong, but he got your name right.
I didn't know you were at Pierre now.
I was at Pierre Romain. That was what, 7-8 years ago?
Exactly.
Before I unified all my accounts to Wired Canuck.
Now, and And yes, to be fair, you were at Pierre Ramon. I gotta give Anthony a shout out. Both Anthony and Sarah, they had a great show this morning. If you don't watch AZ Update at the early hour of 7 a.m. on the Pacific coast, but
it's great. It's great morning breakfast TV.
It's great wake up TV. It's actually very informative. And I actually, every Friday morning, it's my Friday morning wake up. It really is. So
I find it not only informative, but it's educational, because like I learn new words every week, because Anthony must have this big thesaurus next to his monitor, and every week he comes out with like really good vocabulary. It's very educational.
I will say there have been a couple times most of the time I listen because I'm getting ready for the day, so I have it on and have it turned up so I can hear it in the facilities. But one time I did watch, and Anthony did kind of use this thesaurus a little bit, and Sarah just like a deer in headlights. It was like, what the heck did you just say? Good evening to you, TRP 8472. Shouldn't you be at your post?
I actually captured that scene from Star Wars the other day, and I was going to play it, but I didn't have time to
load it up in the deck.
Load it up in the deck, yes.
Nice. And we also have, of course, I have to. I will say this just because he is the VIP for the Passion Switch. So Mr. Scott Metzel's in the house.
Oh.
Hey, Scott, how are you doing? So it's Friday. What have you been doing this week?
It's Friday, and I have no idea where my IT guys are.
Nice. Excellent.
That's the vintage Passion Switch t-shirt.
The vintage Passion. You know, I got 3 of the new shirts where it said it's not our fault. We were left unsupervised.
I want one of those.
I ended up buying one for myself, and then was gifted 2.
Oh.
So I have 3 of those. I kept wearing them on weeks when we had Patch and Switch, and one of the things that I started doing thanks to COVID is I actually started seeing a counselor, because COVID was driving me literally crazy. And
that button's very
it's always fun. But I was literally going out of my mind.
Yeah.
And
so a lot of people too, so it's more common than we think.
And that's why I say to folks, please reach out to some professionals, get some help, get someone to talk to. Seriously, it's worth it. I finally did, and I got to the point, my meetings with him was on Friday afternoons. And what was great was it was just, it's a nice way to end the week. I can kind of just let go of the week, enjoy the weekend. There were 3 sessions in a row. He's like, Jared, I got to ask you, are you like changing clothes? Are you showering and stuff? I'm like, well, yeah, I am. Why? He goes, you've been in the same shirt every single time we met. It's that shirt, because I have 3 of them.
Actually, I got that because when I go to conferences, I have these shirts that I had made. They're like they're Dickies mechanics shirt. They have like the Azure logo on one side and my Twitter tag on the other side with the hashtag AZOps.
Oh yeah.
But I have like 4 of them because I go to a conference. I know I'm going to be there for 4 days. Yep. So at first, I basically bought 5 black shirts and I brought them to my embroidery guy and I said, okay, so he embroidered them. So, but after once somebody mentioned, it's like, you realize you've been wearing the same shirt all week? And I'm like, well, no, it's not. It's a fresh shirt every day. So now I have actually bought others that I have different colors on them so that it's not going to be that obvious that I'm wearing the same shirt. Like Thomas Maurer.
Yeah. No, TRP 8472 was asking, is there going to be IT Ops Talk swag available?
Oh, I don't know. That will be a question that Wireless for Life and I will have to discuss.
Discuss with the team.
Yeah, I don't think we have any budgets, and because it is a Microsofty kind of exercise, now we have to talk to Sela, because if any money gets transferred, which is the one reason why even our IT Ops Talk YouTube channel, we have enough followers and watch time, so we could monetize the channel. And we talked about monetizing it so that we could, like Patch and Switch, donate the money to charity. But because of all of the implication and legalese, and when you're dealing with Microsoft legal, it's not necessarily a cakewalk. So we've decided against that for now.
Scott Metzel just posted something. A life-size IT Ops Talk raccoon would be awesome.
Oh, maybe we can make that one happen, Anthony. Write that down for our next production meeting.
Yeah, put that on the agenda for the next team meeting.
That's right.
These are some great ideas, and as everybody knows, Patch and Switch. Yes, we got affiliates, so we're starting to. We have some subscriptions. In fact, Scott Metzel has been one of our biggest contributors of gifted subs. Thank you, Scott, as always. But our plan is all along to take once we have all the operational expenses covered, which isn't much, frankly.
Well, $1.380.
It's $1.380, yeah, and I don't take any. I do avoid my payment because we've come to the conclusion of cancer. And the plan is to donate all of our all the money that we make once the expenses are covered.
Yep.
To I think right now we're looking at St. Jude's or another cancer research.
Yeah, and cancer is something that is close to my heart. First of all, I am a cancer survivor. For most of you who do know that. And also one of our a wonderful human being, a stand-up guy, salt of the earth, absolute gem. Abel Wang on our team is cancer is back with a vengeance. So heart goes out to him, and thoughts and prayers and all that stuff. So if you can donate somewhere for cancer, just I can't suggest it enough.
And if you don't have to subscribe to our channel, please donate outside. Find out if we're lucky enough at Microsoft. In fact, I just made a couple of donations here because it was my birthday earlier this week, and oh my god. No, please don't subscribe and hit the bell. Don't. Oh, God.
It's just a good segue for our next segment, but...
But I made a couple donations this week around my birthday, and one of those is because my father passed away of cancer. And so I've been trying to lock in on specific cancer awareness. The great thing is when I give money, Microsoft matches it, which is one of the hugest benefits. So.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's talk about those fun overlays. How many people have visited? Let's show the picture. How many have visited the channels that look like this?
Wait a minute, I gotta find that picture.
You gotta find that picture. See, Pierre's producing this week. I get to sit back and just hey.
I gotta find that picture. Pierre. Hey. So let me just change with my desktop.
Yeah. There it is.
So this is the kind of overlays you don't want to have. There he is with like the smoke in his, but when you think about it, this is only wait a minute, my zoom it is gone crazy. All right, never mind, I won't zoom in. If you look at his face, and on the left side, upper left side, is the only content that's live. Everything else around it is an overlay.
Yeah.
Like, that is absolutely ridiculous. And I'm don't like overlays that much. I don't even like when and let me change that back because that's just too annoying.
Yeah. Freestyle Coder says his inner child is weeping right now.
Oh, I know. It's and I have found because I was searching for pictures, I have found others that are worse than that, but are also not safe for viewing
Yes.
for anyone.
Yes.
So
oh, by the way, Wireless Life CDN did point out it's missing Legos.
It's missing Legos. Well, yeah, because there wasn't enough room left on the screen.
You probably stepped on them.
Yeah. So overlays, in my opinion, and you can chime in with that. I like them when they're tasteful and minimal, because you can go way overboard. You can go with like the logo in the middle of your screen. You can have the sub overlay that we talked about. You can have a chat overlay, which right now is not working because of the authentication issues that we had with...
Oh, it broke again?
Yeah, it broke again. So my chat bot, for some reason, is not showing the chat, but because I've seen a lot of streams where on top of the stream is like transparent, the text of the chat, which for anybody who's watching is right next to the screen. So why do you need to see it on the screen and in the stream? I don't know. Maybe people want other people to see their names online. I don't know what the reasoning is, but even the setup that we have now with the glitch with in the back, we've got some animation and some colors going, and we've got the frame around. Even that, I find it's as much as I ever want to have it. And if we only had like a little colored box around, our that would be fine to me. Right. I also, and I know we do use the Stinger transition, which is not bad because it's not very long, and I think we've turned off the sound on most of the Stinger transition.
In most cases, yes, we have.
But there's some people that like go overboard where like it takes you 3 seconds or 4 seconds to change from one scene to another. It's too much.
It is. And like folks are talking in the channel, we like Scott Metzel brought up, there's that one scene from Ready Player One when you're in a VR and it's going to be taken up by ads and all this stuff, and they even said, oh, we could get it to occupy 40, or no, it wasn't 40%, it was like 80%.
It was 80%. I love that movie. Ready Player 2 is
the user has a seizure.
Yeah, Ready Player 2 apparently is on pre-production. So
the book was interesting. I'll give it that much.
I haven't read the book yet. Not yet.
Yeah, I read the book. I reread Ready Player One, then read Ready Player Two. Well, I say read. I use Audible for all my hashtag not sponsored. But I like audiobooks. Yeah. Frankly, from my perspective, I read. I'm in front of a computer all day long. I'm reading stuff all day long. When I relax, I don't want to read anymore. That's why I like audiobooks. I do
audiobooks when I'm driving, because I find listening to music puts me to sleep. Like if I have to drive, my daughter lived just outside of Toronto. It was like a 4.5 hour drive for me.
Yes.
Listening to music would kind of like put me into this like trance. So I would either go with talk radio or audiobooks.
Yeah.
I know it
Yeah.
makes me the dad, but I'm wearing it. I own
I'm
it.
a big podcast. I listen to many podcasts. This week has been a weird one with the podcasts I like to watch and catch up on. Many of them were behind in production for some reason this week, but I'm lucky that I haven't been able to, or I'm going out of town for the weekend to go visit with with a friend.
Yep.
And I've got, no joke, like 12 to 14 hours of podcasts to listen to, and the drive will be 4 to 5 hours each way, so it'll be perfect.
Yep. I just recorded. Speaking of podcasts, I just recorded an episode of Day 2 Cloud podcast. Should be up next month, I
Nice.
guess. So
Excellent.
should be fun.
Well, we should actually so let's get back on the
Overlay thing.
overlay thing. I'm not big on the overlays either. I tend to use, so I've gone ahead and I've purchased for my own streaming. I've purchased a asset pack like the one that we have here from a company. Not sponsored. Nerd or Die has been pretty good. The prices are reasonable, and they have some nice little packs.
Yeah.
I have one for my personal streaming that I use, but I don't have a lot of the overlays, and I don't have a lot of the stuff flying out. And the only overlay I added is if I get a follower, or if I happen to get a subscriber or a cheer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, shocking.
I've seen some where there's a game plane where you there's an overlay of like a parachute, and you have to direct the parachute and hit a moving bullseye at the bottom of the screen. So as the person is coding and talking, you see all these parachutes coming across the screen. It's just distracting for after a while.
Oh God, yeah. And I use very minimal stingers to transition. I like a lot of the video stingers. Like we have, like if you switch scenes, go ahead and switch scene here. This is like the biggest stinger I want is something like that.
Yeah.
That's just real quick, in and out, and it just covers the switch. Because for so long, I basically had okay, we're just going to cut.
I always use the fade, so fade in, fade out, but within like a second, so it's not abrupt, but it doesn't take any time.
Exactly. I had the fade as well, and I was using, I think, 75 milliseconds for the fade. So
Okay.
I mean, it's pretty quick.
Yeah. But when we talk about overlays are nothing more, in most cases, they're three things. They're a graphic, so a JPEG, a PNG, or anything like that with a transparent background and something that happens. They are a video file with, again, transparent background where something happens in the front, or they're a web animation that are posted as a browser source that are triggered by a webhook. That's typically the three types of overlays that you have. You can make them yourselves. You don't have to spend a lot of money. For example, if I go back to the logo, I know it's kind of annoying because I was trying to make a point into making it really big in the middle. Plus, it's our new logo, so we're very proud of it. And for people who are wondering what the hell's going on, well, there's two of us, so those two arrows, and because we're testing in production, we often kind of miss the bullseye. So that's the thinking behind it. Anyway, so let me take that off because it's annoying. It's just a 1080 by 9. Take two. Reboot the brain. Maybe I should just take the afternoon off and go for a nap.
Or go for a drive.
Yeah, it's 1080p with a transparent background and the logo in front of it. That's all it is. And then I just use and we'll talk about that a little bit later. One of my control planes in front of me to actually turn it on and turn it off.
Yes. And that's the easy thing that can be done. A lot of times, and this is my recommendation, is to have your overlays on some sort of hotkey where you can remove them.
Oh yeah.
I have when I game, I actually have my game takes the full screen, and then I have my face cam.
Okay.
And at the bottom of the face cam, just like in our kind of thing right here, you can see my Twitter handle is right about here, and the patch and switch channels over here.
Yeah.
And I have kind of the same because Nerd or Die, that's kind of one of their standard looks. It has very similar things on my assets for when I stream. However, I have a small. It's basically a small face cam. It's in the bottom middle, or it's middle left, or it's middle right, or it's upper left, or it's upper right, depending on the game, because every game has its own overlay. Like when I play Diablo, best spot for me to put my face is right in the bottom middle, because there's so much information that people want to see on the sides.
Like you don't want to be on top of the HUD or the like any kind of like game important information.
There's a guy. There's a fairly famous streamer who moved from Twitch to YouTube, and I've watched his stuff all week about Call of Duty Warzone because it's a new season. They destroyed the Verdansk and have a brand new town now. Anyways, I was watching a lot of his streams, and one of the things I like to see on most people's streams, especially about Warzone, is the kill feed.
Yeah.
And his face cam's right on top of the kill feed.
Are you talking
disrespect? No, it's courage. It's courage.
Oh, okay.
He's a little bit of a. I think he is. You know, there's a group of folks that kind of push the whole kind of too much manliness, if you will, kind of attitudes.
I have to admit, I did watch last night. Tim Tam Man and NX Mercs were teaming up in the new map. It was kind of interesting.
Yep. Tim the Tap Man's actually hilarious because he is. I like him from the fact that I think he's funny, and I think honestly, Tim is not that good of a player.
But he's entertaining as hell.
Streamers that carry him.
Yeah, but he's entertaining. So if
he's entertaining as hell. Oh my goodness, he's so much fun to watch.
I like it. I like it when he finds a cheater that's hot watching him, and then they start like kind of going at.
They'll and Courage. So like yesterday, it was Nick Merckx, Courage, Tim the Tap Man, and there was I can't remember who their Cloaksy was their fourth.
Okay.
And it was the four of them running a 4-man battle royale all day long.
Yeah.
So the other one that I tend to watch also live, and he's actually someone I would consider actually somewhat wholesome, if you will.
Yeah, but if you look at their stream,
very minimal.
They're very minimal.
Mm-hmm. But like Courage will have a small bar at the top with like who's the biggest contributor and all this stuff.
Yeah, but it's not intrusive.
Pop-ups like crazy, but it's based on are you a subscriber or resubscribing? Are you donating money? If you're donating like $5, it just kind of pops up. If you donate 50 on Courage, it pops up. If you donate 100, it gets. I mean, by the how much money you spend is how big the pop-up is.
And then you get Dr. Disrespect, where the gameplay is very minimal, but in between games, then the production value just goes out. Like I'd love to see his studio.
It is kind of funny. There's and that's part of they've learned what's the proper level of overlays, what's the proper level. But also remember they have professional editors.
Yeah.
Courage is a co-owner now of 100 Thieves. Yeah. And they have they have a streaming stable of people.
Yeah, I know. And it's like PowerPoint. Somebody who's just starting to learn PowerPoint adds animation and builds into every point that they have on their slide and in between every slide. Mm-hmm. And so sometimes I get marketing decks that I look at those, and first thing I do is I like select all, remove all animations, select all, remove all transition.
Exactly.
and then you start from scratch and you add it where it's appropriate. But anyway,
sure.
we've been rambling for
We've been
30 minutes.
rambling, yeah.
We did talk about one of the things we wanted to, which were overlays and our views on them.
Correct.
I think our next point that was suggested last week is our use of control plane or Stream Deck or any other kind of automation or control units that we have.
I hold on a second. I think I need to remove Scott Metzel from being VIP. He says he'll be right back. He's digging out the HTML blink tag.
Oh God. It was the blink tag. What was the other one? Sparkles?
There's sparkles. There's also all the animated GIFs that were like the dancing
Dancing baby.
Dancing baby. Yes, BioCower was Marquee.
Yes.
Web 1.0, wasn't it fun?
Yes. All right, so
I remember my GeoCities site. Anyways. But
okay, we are that old.
We want to talk about how we actually run a lot of our shows. I've actually set myself up using Stream Deck a lot.
Yep.
How about yourself?
Well, I started out because I'm cheap with a bunch of homemade solutions, and at the beginning of the pandemic, when we decided as a team with Rickster and Anthony and everybody else on my team, Sarah and Sonia and Orn, that we were going to pivot a bit more to be online streaming videos. I did get from my wonderful employer a Stream Deck, so I've kind of moved to the Stream Deck. So I have a pretty good opinion as to which one I like and why. But we'll go that in a. I still use Notepad. Yeah, but I want to hear what you do with it and like how you've customized it, and is there something specific that you do in terms of automating your stream that could be useful for our audience?
And if I can share my application here, I'm going to share out. And if you want to flip over and take a look at it, yeah. So I've
testing in production.
Testing in production. Hello, come on. I thought we had it.
We did, except that the last time we did we were on Skype. So shared screen. There we go. There we are.
And BioCow, it's something we understand. One of the things that I always find absolutely fascinating is Mary Jo Foley does everything in Notepad. She doesn't use Word. She doesn't. If she had a computer with just Notepad and a browser, she could get her job done.
However, I will give her that because there's a platform that I use for blogging that only has a web interface for me to actually publish. But it's horrible. So you can't take a Word, you can't write it in Word and do like cut and paste into this interface because it strips out all of the links, it strips out all of the like all the formatting, but it leaves all of the HTML garbage that Word has underneath. So I ended up like writing it in like VS Code or Notepad, and then copying it and then adding the links afterwards. So I kind of like that. Notepad is a pretty good it's a pretty good tool.
Notepad is a great tool. I use it all the time to remove. It's been my go-to app to remove any sort of formatting codes or anything. I've been slowly but surely switching over to VS Code. In fact, Scott Metzel and I were just talking about it in the chat. The first thing I install on computers anymore these days is VS Code, Windows Terminal. I don't have PowerShell 7 as one of my defaults yet because I still have a lot of scripts that rely on PowerShell 5.1. So
Yeah.
That's just me.
Yeah, and he mentions that the notepad is his short to-do list.
Yeah.
Uh,
BioCow. Yep.
mine is
Yep.
actually paper and pencil.
Yep. BioCal, yes. Pierre and I were talking about it during our production, because this is the only show I do a production meeting earlier in the week. It's so weird with Patch and Switch. We just kind of throw it together at the last minute. What are we doing today? I don't know. That's a typical Patch and Switch show. But Pierre and I meet on Tuesday, and we're like, okay, what are we going to cover today? And he pulls out his, and I'm like, you actually pulled out paper? And he's like, yeah.
Well, when I see suggestions from our wonderful audience in the chat room that say, "Hey, I'd like you guys to talk about this," I write it down.
Oh, for sure, for sure. Now, what I do, so I'm actually going to pull up. This is my automation for Patch and Switch. And this is what my Stream Deck. I have 2 Stream Decks. You may have seen it on prior videos. I have the Mini, but the Mini sets up what my big deck does, and it's the Stream Deck, the regular size. I don't have the XL yet. I've thought about it. I don't have it yet.
I might have a solution for you in a minute.
I know. That's why I wanted to get to that. So I actually have, for example, I have what they call in here multi-action and multi-action switch type activities. If we select like the start the stream, you can, I don't know if you can see here, it says 9 actions, but here are the 9 actions that I do when I press that one button.
Yeah.
And it can do a multitude of things. And I have it, for example, connected to my Go XLR. So as an example, it, except for it's locked up. Yep. Because we're testing in production, of course. Let me crash that out and restart it. Yes, I am pure. I would love an XL as well, but I think we should give a listen to what Pierre has to show us in just a second. So we'll come back in here. Let me reshare the screen, and we will get it into the Stream Deck again. And your Stream Deck starts sharing. Ta-da, there it is.
All right, I was waiting for the shared desktop to be back. There we are.
There we go. To be back. And I go up here and I select the actions, and it is locked up yet again.
In any case, just explain what your thought process behind building those automation.
So what I do is I set up a multi-step, and I have it, for example, on my Go XLR, I have it actually remove my microphone and the chat microphone from the broadcast channel.
Yep.
So if I forget to mute us, it doesn't go out and broadcast before the show starts. I also have it actually turn on the music channel, because I may have music from, or I definitely have music that we have from for pre-show information.
Yeah, and for music, you can use music that comes with your overlay pack. You can use Stream Beats or any of those free. You got to be really careful, because some people say it's copyright free, but it isn't. So you really have to do your research before you start using a source of music.
Or you purchase music licenses.
Yes.
For those of you that love the music, I actually purchased the music for our channel from a company called Triune Digital. And it's got some it's meant for creators that are creating movies and short films. But man, oh man, I think it's some fun opening and closing that we have. Now, as I Am Pure brings up, the timing of multi-step sucks. Too much delay that you can't control. That's actually not something I've run into. And it could just be because my machine is beefy enough, it's able to handle it. I can time things down to a T. Like if you were watching the last testing in production, I have the stream start like exactly right when it hits a certain dun 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 dun, and then it switches the scene, and then it switches to us as the music is coming in. It's it can be really awesome. It takes a lot of work though to get those things set up.
Yeah, and Freestyle Coder says he needs more delay. I need more cowbell.
We definitely need more cowbell. So the awesome thing is I can create. I'm going to reshare my screen one more time, see if I can get this to work. I'm not going to try and look into anything, but you can actually just see what I have on my. So you can see I have like start the stream. I have let's go. That's the item that'll actually take us into the show. I have the boys, which is the 2-shot.
Yep.
I have the web page. I can pull up Rick or Joey alone, and then I have some other items. I am here. If you're still getting delays, you might if they're random delays, you might take a look at your USB bus. Do you have too much stuff on that specific bus? I've actually figured out which buses are which ports in my computer, and I have my Stream Decks on their own bus from everything else. So I have that. My video's on a different bus. My audio's on a different bus. So check that out, and that might help you out and get rid of some of those delays.
Is it a short bus or a normal bus?
It's a very, very, very short bus.
Okay.
Oh, Scott Metzel's got a good point. We need to upgrade to a dual core cowbell.
Ooh.
Does it have hyperthreading though? That's all I want to know.
X570 cowbell.
X570 cowbell. Now, if I take a look at my Stream Deck Mini when I'm actually in a stream, this is what I see. And I have a home button. This upper button in the middle actually is not a button that does anything. It gives me the current number of viewers of the show.
Okay.
And then I can see here, I can push to start the recorder, start streaming. It'll also show me if the streaming is live in OBS and if the recorder's live in OBS.
Yeah.
So it gives me that kind of feedback.
Yeah. So that's like the OBS, or not OBS, the Stream Deck. Like, do you really think that it's so this is valuable for you? This is worth the like $250 for the standard deck?
I think you can do the same with some homemade equipment. We're going to talk about that in a second. I think you can do a lot of the same things. The nice thing that Stream Deck gives you is the capability that you can connect anything that has a connector, if you will, into Stream Deck.
Yeah.
So, for example, the Go XLR has a connector pack. So I can actually, like I said, change my routing tables. I can even change the profile of the Go XLR with the touch of one of my Stream Deck buttons. Yeah. There's a lot of capabilities that you can do in both a do-it-yourself scenario. I like the fact that this is packaged. If I have a problem, I can contact them. Much like, I bought my gaming rig, as everyone has probably seen, is from a Take Care TRP8472. Have a good weekend. I bought a built system from a system builder. And they were really kind to me there at Doghouse. Not hashtag sort of sponsored, but they were really kind to me in a configuration. I take a look at what Rick's going through right now, and I actually went through an M2 drive failure, and I had a brand new M2 drive shipped to me the next business day, which was Monday. It occurred on a Saturday night, and they shipped me a new drive. Not only on top of that, I now have a spare drive that they shipped me. They're like, hey, just because I paid for a certain support level, they're like, hey, we're just going to send you the spare drive. I'm like,
either that or not, they're very confident that the new drive is going to survive.
That could be, but the fact that they are putting their inventory in my hands to make sure that it's not a problem, I'm like, okay. I am Pure. Yes, exactly. There is the Stream Deck mobile app. There's a couple other apps that are out there too that you can connect.
Yes.
And we're going to talk about that right now.
Right now? Right now?
Right now.
So
let's jump to it.
If I change my view to, so this is my control plane. I had to take some stuff out of the closet and update it, of course, the last couple of days. But this is my regular keyboard. This is what I use every day, and my mouse. Then I have the 10 keypad that's, if I need it, it's USB, it's Bluetooth, so it doesn't take room on my desk. And I tried to set it up on that, but because it's Bluetooth, the old software that I've been using would not recognize it.
Yeah.
So I've replaced it with an old Dell USB keyboard. So now I'm not limited to the 10 keys here. I've got like 104 keys I could assign to action. And then, of course, I've got my Stream Deck, and I've got the iPad. So that's, as Iampor mentioned. What was that sound?
I played an overlay.
Oh, okay.
Only you can hear.
So I've got my iPad, and on it I've got either Touch Portal or the Elgato Stream Deck Mobile. The problem I have with the Stream Deck Mobile is the cost. It's a subscription. You can't just buy it and use it. So it's either I'm on the 30-day trial here now. So I'm gonna have to remember to go and cancel it before they start charging me. I think it's like $4, $4.50 Canadian, or something like it's about $5 total with taxes and everything a month, versus or like $50 a year or something like that. Like the you can, but it's exactly the same. It's the same app. So if I change back to, of course, because I've changed my, there we go back. So if I go to my desktop. So it's the exact same app, except that when I have in my devices, I have my iPad and my regular Stream Deck. So I can have one design and send it to either the Stream Deck Mobile or the Stream Deck that's on my deck. However, because it's an iPad, I've got lots of real estate, but I am locked into that 5x3 button configuration. I can't add more. I can't add anything else. So you've got the exact same functionality that you would have, but on an iPad, but you have to pay $5 a month for it. So if you look at $5 a month or versus what's the $250 to actually buy the standard Stream Deck, but once you got it forever. If I had my choice, I'd probably just buy the Stream Deck.
Got it.
However, the Stream Deck Mobile is actually pretty good.
That's good to know. That's a nice option. But let's take a look at the other option that you have there.
So the other option, if I go back to my view from above.
And by the way, we have some people talking about, wow, that angle from above is kind of cool. We may have to talk about how to set up show and tell angles.
Well, this is just an old GoPro that I've cannibalized. It's let's
hold it for another conversation.
Oh, okay.
I'm marking it on our to-do list. I got mine. So.
Yeah, and we can talk about my budget HDMI connector that I've running here. Anyway, so I've got my iPad. But the iPad, like the view that you're seeing now, is a little software called Touch Portal. And Touch Portal has a free version that is limited in the number of pages you can have and the number of buttons per page that you can have. If you want to buy it, I think it's like $12.99 for a lifetime license. Meaning you'll get every update, you'll get everything for $12. And if we look at how it's, and again, I need one more monitor. We look at how it's set up. You look at all the buttons. So if I look at testing in production, it's got a lot more functionality in terms of we're talking about delays and multi actions. Like you can start an application, you can have navigation, you can pick up input from different devices. It awesome. You can look some utilities like locking my computer. So I've got one button that can just hit the button and walk away, and it locks my computer. Of course, I know that the Windows L key will do the exact same thing. But the logic is like wait for timer. It's got if statements. If a file is present, do this. So let me pick one that actually... I'm going to change to my testing and production page. And let's say I'll use my side-by-side view, which is the view that we have when there's the two of us on the screen. I switched OBS to the scene that I want, and I set that button to on, and I automatically will go, and if there's any other buttons in my environment that are turned on, it'll actually go and turn them off. And then on the event, if the button is turned on, it switches the icon to green. If the button is turned off, it switches it back to kind of like a purplish. So it's really good for that. But it also has, if we go back to my main page, if I look at buttons like this one here, so I can use HTTP, so the webhooks we were talking about. So I can interact with if this and that. I can interact with a whole bunch of that. The lights at the bottom are all my Philips Hue lights that are connected to it. I can have buttons that are a toggle button, even though the webhook, I have to have two webhooks, one to turn it on, one to turn it off. This one will allow me, because say if the state button is on, then turn it off. And then this is the webhook that you use. If the light is on and you want to turn it off, like you can actually put logic into the actions that you're taking and react in terms of what it looks like based on that logic. So you can do events, inputs, logic. You can set values and change those values based on things that are happening. HTTP. You can change your visuals so you can be dynamic. There are some media functions, OBS, of course, XSplit, Streamlab OBS, Twitter, Twitch, Philips Hue, and Windows Essentials. You can download packs a lot of them are free, and you have a lot of control for it. So when you're looking at something like this, where I've got everything running on my tablet, I can switch to testing and production, and from there, I can and it's all basically the same functionality as what the Stream Deck would have, but it's $12 on a iPad that was collecting dust on the shelf somewhere over there. And of course, it works on any mobile, Android or iOS, so you can have that. Then there's this monster here, which is like this is really the DIY. I don't want to spend any money whatsoever. So it's just a keyboard with some basically they're envelope labels that I've printed icons on and like taped it to my, I don't know if you guys can see it. I'll try to bring it back up a little bit.
Yeah, I can start to see some of those. Yep.
So it's really just like, okay, switch to scene 1, or switch back to scene 4, which is just my number key. However, when you think about this, Windows doesn't know the difference if you've got multiple keyboards installed, doesn't know the difference from one keyboard to the other.
Right.
So you can start typing on one keyboard, move to the other keyboard, and Windows, for as far as it's concerned, is one keyboard. So if I'm using this number 1 button to switch back to our main scene, or the number 4 to switch back, it doesn't know the difference versus I'm typing the number 4.
Yes.
So if I was going to hit number 4 on my other keyboard, see, there's no change. So the way it works is I'm using a little piece of software called, let me see if I can find it here. It's minimized in my tray, called Lua Micros. And let me share my desktop.
Back to the desktop view. There we go.
There's the desktop view, and I've kind of hidden
a little zoom action on that.
Pardon me? A little zoom?
Yeah, you might need to zoom a little bit. There we go.
So it's a little piece of software where that's when it starts. I actually give it the hardware address, so it captures anything that's coming from that hardware address. And then it's just a one big long if then else statement that says, if the button is 101, then send the key. And then I have complicated, so control alt shift and T, and like, so you assign different keystrokes to scenes in OBS, and then you just send them. And at the bottom is just my console that you see every time I hit a button. It will actually, so I can verify, because Lua macro language is not the most stable thing in the world. So sometimes you want to make sure that you're actually acting and doing the right things. And next to it, it tells you which is the number of the key that's been hit. So it didn't cost me anything except for a little bit of time to figure it out. If anybody is interested, I can give my script very easily, so you can do it and use it and change it.
I think what we should do is definitely put some of these as some of you may or may not know. If you can go ahead and share my screen, these have been very visual podcasts. It's not like we can easily convert this to an audio podcast. So we're not going to publish this as an audio podcast, but we're going to publish onto YouTube. And you can see we've got some drafts here of the first 3 episodes. And I think we're going to go back and we'll probably talk about this part in a future show of how to like manage a channel or how to manage delivering content out.
Yeah, and maybe we could. I know Sarah Lean on my team is brilliant at making sure like the tags are done, the chapters properly, descriptives. That like she's really she really leads our IT Ops Docs video channel, and she cracks the whip when you're not using tags properly because it screws up telemetry.
Okay, so set up meeting with Sarah. Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. You were saying?
Maybe we could just invite her and let her tell her story. Except that at the time we're broadcasting, she's already on her weekend, and she's very protective of her downtime. Of course.
But maybe that's something we can actually set up a meeting and record ahead of time.
Possibly, and then show how we do recordings.
Exactly.
In a stream.
Yep. So we'll take a look at that. Thanks a lot, Scott Metzel. Let's actually say goodbye to everybody because it is that time. Scott Metzel, thanks a lot for stopping by. Absablog and Lootly, another TTV viewer. Aspen Forrester, A10, Commander Root, Exchange SME. Hope you've been having better time now and have everything patched. Free Cell Coder, always good to see you, my friend. Check him. By the way, check him out. He does a lot of web coding on Twitch. Fuel Snobble, Girly, nice to meet you. I am Pure Chaos 13X, K McFerrin, Rayek. I think it's Rayek. If tell me if that's incorrect. Vizio MVP, good to see you. By the way, do you guys still have snow up in Canada? I was listening to the.
It snowed for the past 3 days. It goes away, but like. Every morning I get up and there's snow in my yard.
I laugh because we've had sunshine for like 14 days straight here in Seattle. It finally clouded up yesterday. Wireless Life CDN, always good to see you, sir. And Josephus, is it Josephus 7? Nice to have you join along. I think that is it for this week in our testing and production. We've got AZ Update next Friday and every Friday.
Every Friday.
At 7 a.m. Pacific, 10 a.m. Eastern, and what is the UTCs on that then?
I have no idea. Time zones is hard.
Actually, that is I believe that's 1400 UTC.
Oh, that's not too bad. Middle of the afternoon.
Yep. And then, of course, next week we have Patch and Switch at 9 a.m.
The shenanigans. And I'll be trying to wrangle the boys, but probably won't.
Yes, it will be an interesting. I'll be able to talk more about what I'm doing next weekend after, because there's a little surprise going on. So.
Yeah, you can't say too much. Plus,
yeah, I can't say too much.
Plus, you don't know
yes.
whether or not you're going to do something that you're not supposed to publicize. So.
Exactly. So thanks a lot. We'll see you in 2 weeks here on the Patch and Switch channel for more testing and production.
See ya.